A huge shout out to the overthinkers.
An overthinker. He watches the show.
To the overthinkers, shout out Buffet too.
Keep inspiring the next generation.
Shout out to the overthinkers. Thando kuphela. Much love.
To my overthinkers, mamela ubuchopho ngeke buphume buyakhula nizinja nikhokho yazini as overthink siya overachieve.
I'm stealing that. I've stolen that one. I've stolen it.
Welcome, everyone, to the show. My name is George Mukwena. I am your host, and you are here on the Overthinking Football Show, a show that's on every Monday to Thursday at 8 p.m. and also on Fridays at 12:30, where I'm up at Winawami. They get to run the show on my behalf. So welcome everybody to that. It is a football show. We are going to be discussing football. So I know some of you might be thinking,
footballer.
My sister.
What a waste.
Oh, bye-bye. But it's not a waste. It's not a waste. It's football. So let's get right into it. Am I saying something wrong on my TikTok here? Just let me know, guys. Can you hear me on TikTok? And everything is fine. Okay, we're going to be talking about Pitso Mosimane'S today. Let me start it off by saying, guys, if you know a Chiefs fan, just give them a hug. Just go over them. They need some love, man. They need a hug. We were speaking so much about Pitso. We were speaking so much about all these things, but I'm just like, man. Pitso has announced his next destination, and he's going back to Saudi. Everybody, he's going back to Saudi to coach a team called Abba. Now, here's the thing about this team called Abba. This team called Abba is currently 17th in the Saudi Pro League. That means it is basically the Richards Bay of Saudi Arabia, not necessarily the worst team, but they are second best. Pitso is going to be coaching them and go take over that team. They've played 19 games, 4 wins, 2 draws, 13 losses, only 14 points in the bag, and a goal difference of minus 30. Now, I want to put that in perspective. The team that Coach Pitso coached before, Al Ali Saudi, has played 19 games, 12 wins, 4 draws, 3 losses, 40 points, and they're 13 points from the top, currently sit third with a goal difference of plus 22. That is the team that Coach Pitso had left when he left Saudi Arabia. Now, I want to talk about this move. A lot of you know that I rate Pitso very highly. Coach Pitso is one of my favorite coaches, especially since he left, because when he leaves, when he was still here, he was the thorn in our side. But when he left, you could say that he was one of the best coaches in Africa. 3 Champions Leagues won. He won it with Mamelodi Sundowns. He'd won leagues in a row here in South Africa. He'd done it in Egypt. And now we were all thinking, you know what, Coach Pitso is going to go overseas. He's going to go make it to Europe. He's going to be the best African coach coaching in Europe. And that didn't actually turn out that way. When he left Al Ali, he went on over to it was this Al Ali Saudi, where he won. It was a relegation project. A project where it was a team that was relegated, a top 4 team that was relegated, and they needed him to come and save it, take it and put it back into the Pro League, right? Which he did. Spent a season, took them to the Pro League. Immediately upon that team being promoted, the PIF, the Saudi Public Investment Fund, came in, threw the money at them, bought the top 4 teams in Saudi, and kicked him out. So from that move, I criticize what Coach Pitso was doing with that move. And my worry about what has happened to Coach Pitso is that he's gone from one of the most promising coaches, one of the best coaches in Africa, top 10 in the world at some point, to a coach that is seen as the Steve Bruce of Saudi Arabia. Somebody who comes in when the team's in trouble, you pay him the money to bring the team up, and then he saves your team. Or if you're in trouble, he's, let's be honest, maybe a cheaper option than the coaches that they really do want. So they're bring him in to do the dirty work. And I don't know how that sits with the rest of the world and how they view Coach Pitso after these moves. Obviously, after he went to Saudi the first time, he went over to EUAE, where after 10 days, 10 games, he was let go and had to come back home, to the point where people were talking about him becoming Chiefs coach, which honestly is a step down. I don't want to lie. Being Chiefs coach from where Coach Pitso had been was going to be a massive, massive, massive step down. And that's where he is right now. And one of my favorite coaches, one of the people that I hold in high esteem, one of the coaches that I love more than a lot of coaches that I know in the world, is now a coach that looks like, you know, he's given up on the dream of going to Europe and he's going to go get a paycheck over there at Saudi. He's going to go and cash out in a place where he knows that it might not be as challenging as anywhere else, but they pay so much. And for those who are saying money, guys, it's all about perspective. It depends, Guti, how you're looking at this. If you're looking at the Coach Pitso situation and thinking Coach Pitso should be coaching in Europe or should be coaching in the top leagues or should be on his way there, then the Saudi move breaks your heart, because I don't know if this helps him. If you're looking at Coach Pitso as somebody who maybe age is up to catching up to him, maybe he's going to look to go into a national team job soon, maybe he wants to make enough money to fund his schools, the Pitso Mosimane'S schools projects and all of those things, then you look at it and you go, okay, I guess maybe that's it. I'm seeing a question here that says, what teams in Europe? I posed the question, and maybe that's another thing that we can speak about today. I posed the question a few weeks ago, if not last week, where I asked, how do we rank each other? How do we rank Africans? Coach Pitso is a league-winning coach in SA. He's won the CAF Champions League in SA. He's won plenty other trophies here in SA. But then now, he's gone over to Egypt. He's got the two Champions Leagues there, finished third twice in the Club World Cup. He's got the license, pro license, which is meant to be UEFA A level or UEFA Pro, I believe, same, right? Are you telling me that Coach Pitso, as he is right now, is not a coach that can coach the 15th team in France or the 16th team in Germany? Who are the coaches that coach there that are so much better than him that you guys always seem to ask the same question of, can he coach there? I made an example in a video of mine of the Brighton coach. The Brighton coach, not the Brighton coach, the Luton coach. The Luton coach was an assistant coach for lesser teams in the championship. Doesn't have the pedigree. Has not coached at the level that Coach Pitso has coached at. Does that mean he's automatically better than Coach Pitso? Does that mean that Coach Pitso can't dream of going into Europe and going to go coach there? Or is that something that us, ourselves, look back and go, "Aye man, guys, are we not underrating ourselves?" And maybe if I am overrating Pitso, if I am overrating Coach Pitso, that's why I get disappointed by these moves. Why move to Saudi Arabia? The way I understood it was that the plan for him was, I was going to go to Saudi Arabia. Most of those teams are owned by Arab people. I was going to make my name in the Arab world, and then those guys were going to be the ones that push over and take him to Europe. The eyes, the owners, the people that make the decisions would be the ones that fetched him and moved him over to Europe. Chigi, one season of saving the team that was relegated, he gets moved out. And the guy who took over is Matthias Jessel. Do we know Matthias Jessel? Anybody? Does that make Matthias Jessel, just because he's European, better than Pitso? But he went down that road. Then he went to the UAE. How does he come back from that? Where do we go from there? Can he make his way now to Europe? And I think that's where my disappointment lies, because I rank him so highly. But these aren't the moves that we are meant to make, even if it comes down to a money conversation. You can have a money conversation and say, no, guys, the money was so much, they're paying him hand over fist what he would have earned anyway. Great. But how many of you know of people who've taken the wrong job that paid very well and it held them back a little bit? And what I hope we're seeing from these moves, from what we're trying to do here, I'm hoping that the coaches who are coming up, Oborulani, watch these moves. Watch how to market yourselves. Watch how to get yourselves to Europe. Hopefully he's connected enough to get there. Because what seems to be killing Coach Pitso is that he's coming as an African who doesn't seem to be that connected that side. Already, other coaches have struggled to get into there who are of a certain skin tone, even if they're legends from there. Benny McCarthy was a head coach for Amazulu. He's an assistant coach, a strikers coach for Manchester United. That's the best that they could do for him. And it's probably going to help him a lot. But the one thing that I don't want us to do is to look at our coaches and for some reason think that the 16th team in France can't be coached by Pitso. Forget about your Real Madrids and then the big ones. Let's move them. Then we can sit here and say that it's a lack of quality that is stopping a Coach Pitso from going that side. And I don't believe that that's the case. I don't believe it. Hugo Bruce was in the media the other day saying that if Coach Pitso had a UEFA Pro license, maybe he'd be coaching that side because there's nothing that should be stopping him from coaching in Europe right now. And it's sad that our Coach Pitso, who have so much experience and knowledge, so many things, man, to give the game, have to take money moves. And I don't want to sit here and say the motivation is that it's the money or any of those things. But look at how it's turned out. A coach that was on top of the African tournament, or African continent, is now being linked with Chiefs. No disrespect to Chiefs, but is now being linked to Chiefs. Is now having to go back to Saudi to another project, another building project, another rescue project. Steve Bruce rescued teams in England. They don't trust him to take any teams further than rescuing them. Pitso has already rescued a team and been shoved aside. Coach Pitso, I don't want to be disrespectful. Coach Pitso has taken a team and rescued them. Now he's about to go rescue another team that is currently in relegation, guys. Currently in relegation. 14 points from 19 games. I don't know how I feel about this move. I'm dumbfounded by it, and I feel like it deserves more. Whether it's the politics that's holding him back or whatever, I think it deserves more. But I'm going to open it up now, guys. Please remember that you have to be following me on TikTok and join me now while I'm live on TikTok in order to jump onto the show so that I can hear your guys' thoughts about this. Don't be shy, guys. Never be shy. Anyone can jump in, come speak. There's a button at the bottom of the screen that says multi-guest. Click on that button, request, jump in, and let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation about Pitso's move and what that means for him and what it means for African coaches as a whole. So request, guys. We even have 6 slots now that open up on this TikTok live app on the PC. Let me read some of the comments. TJ, the leader, says, beautiful days do not come to you. You must walk towards them. South Africa, have a productive year. Thank you, TJ. DK says, money counts. Tato Gista says, which team in Europe? Jose says, Brighton for me. Sazi says, so many teams, even in the EPL. Jiggerman says, it doesn't even have a UEFA Champions League medal like Benny, says Jiggerman. Let's see, Luton is nothing. Sanele says, have you watched Brighton? That team is too much for Pitso. Tatukista said, I just wanted to know which teams he can coach. I know he can coach there. I'm saying mid to lower table teams should be where he should be getting an opportunity. He could be able to coach one of the big ones. I mean, Al Ahly is one of the biggest teams in the world. Now, I know that it's not the same thing, but Al Ahly is one of the biggest teams in the world. So even on his CV, you have a coach that has coached in a very high pressure situation with tons of fans. I don't think the Brighton coach has ever faced that. For example, I don't think the Luton coach has ever faced those type of things. Where do you rank CAF Champions Leagues? How do they rank? So does a CAF Champions League winning coach not measure up to a 14th place English coach who's never won anything? never coached at a big team, never had pressure, truly pressure situations. How do they measure up? Where do we measure ourselves versus those things when we put them into perspective? He's been to a Club World Cup. I don't know that the Luton manager will ever go to a Club World Cup. So are we underrating him ourselves and killing it on that part? I want to hear that. You should coach Bafana. We will cry no more. Guys. African League, it's okay. Bradley Cornell, no one thought that he could be coaching abroad. Exactly. Bradley Cornell, St. Louis coach, that side in America. Politics is the one killing such moves. I hear you about politics. I also think that Africa struggles. Africa struggles with the soft side of things. They struggle. Mikel Arteta had not taken one game as a first-team coach, but already the sentiment around him and what we believed was that he was a genius young coach. Everybody wants him. He's seriously going to do damage. What? I've told you guys before. I have not watched one game at Brighton. But I know that De Zerbi is one of the best coaches. I have not watched it. How do I know? Where does that come from? So at what point do us as Africans understand the softer side of these games? Pitso should be marketed as the greatest African coach. Whether he is or not, debatable, but he should be marketed as, guys, you're not getting a guy from Africa. You are getting the best coach Africa has to offer ever. Pitch him that way. Market him that way. See if you can't get in that way. But if even us who are looking at Pitso, imagine I am a foreigner who's looking at Pitso and maybe I want to go and look him up. And the sentiment around him when I see the conversations about Europe and all those things is we don't even think he's good enough. In fact, it's crazy how in this continent, we can believe that Pitso is not good enough than some of the European coaches whose names we don't even know. Names, records, history, we don't know. We just go, guys, there's no way he could go there. But anyway, let me not get too much into it. He needs to save Burnley, says Sanele. Taweleng says, you're making serious points. Thank you, my brother. Let me open up. Tato, I saw you had requested. Jump on. I saw you requested there. Let me see if I can't get Tato in. Okay, Tato. I wanna hear your point, brother. Anyway, it's fine. Let me bring in the first panel. Kuma, my brother, how are you?
Sharp. I get sharp, big Shelly. Why now, Osantia? Like at the beginning of your show, the way people talking about overthinkers, like naga video loin.
Oh, what a
How do you
video!
apply to be there?
Guys, it's fine. Anytime is tea time. How come porn and just starting? Let's do it.
Sure.
Tell me, Kubo, what do you think of this thing, man? Yeah, Pitso. This move that Pitso made, firstly, Coach Pitso. What do you think of this move to Abba in the Saudi Pro League?
You know what they say, Barry, when life hands you lemons, make lemonade. In this case, as much as he's not respected, as much as he's not liked with the Saudi League, but his work is respected. They know that they're in serious trouble, hence they made him come and coach there. I mean, like, this coach of his caliber, he's probably one of, or if not the most qualified coaches there, because they go to Saudi Arabia. I mean, like, I don't even think Steven Gerrard even ranks higher than him. But remember, Pitso is a true African man. He's a true African man. I mean, like, if you had to put him next to Rulani is much more palatable to European taste because Pitso, he comes across as too radical. Like if I put it in layman's terms, like Pitso's like the Julius Malema and Rolane might be the Musi Maimani. So meaning what white people are gonna find him much more palatable because this guy Pitso, man, he speaks his mind. He doesn't pretend, he doesn't care, but he's a good coach. But you know how prejudice is, bruh. They won't look past him as an African, having a KFA license, playing in the leagues that are not respected. And yes, even there was an article that was done by him by the New York Times or
Yeah.
Times. I'm not.
Yeah, New York Times.
I forget the article. Yeah. They were questioning why this coach who achieved so much global success, continental success, and local success, why can't he get the leap over and coach in the European leagues? And we all know it's not because of merit, it has to be some other aspects. I think those aspects are those that I've highlighted. And it's fine. Ayako Saudi Arabia at Hello Chiefs, like you correctly said, nearly a step down. I get you guys are linked with some guy from Zimbabwe. That is your coach. Stop aiming high. And there was no guarantee. There was no guarantee that it was even gonna turn around Kaiser Chiefs because if anything, like you need to overhaul everything, including Kaiser Mutawing, the chairman, the up and coming one, the grandchild, because there's so many elements there. I'm glad he didn't taint his legacy by going there, but yeah, he should go to Saudi Arabia and milk them. I get Abamo Trump as a person, but they respect his work. Then he should milk all the money that he can get so he can pay Sundowns when he's done.
Hey, Mara, Baraku. Wait. I forgot to Rowena. When you come on, I need to play a certain sound.
Just do it nice. Just be a gentleman.
Because of the people here are gonna like think I'm some guy. I don't know this nags, man.
Aye, man. Okay, no. I hear you. Sinje, before I let you in,
But just do it nice. Just be a gentleman.
how are you, Sinje, with the burner?
I'm okay, Mr. Ontia.
Tell me, Sinje. We're gonna start it off with what do you think of the move that Pitso is apparently making?
Can someone please remind me? I think the first time Pitso was he has never coached in the Pro League in Saudi.
Yeah, he's never coached in the Pro League.
He coached the first division, didn't he? Yeah, so it's a step in, it's a step up. It's not a step down. It's a step up. He's promoting. He promoted the team, but he never actually got to coach in the Saudi Pro League. So this is an opportunity for him to coach the division that he wanted to coach.
Okay.
Let's see. I think it's a good thing, man. He's coaching in one of the most expensive leagues in the world. He's coaching. He did not coach in the Pro League. He coached in the first division, Como. He promoted the club.
Then
He
they fired him.
promoted it, and when they were promoted, they kicked him out. They fired him. He didn't even coach a single game there. So I think now it's for him to prove himself. So I think if what I think is surrounding or denting Pitso's image, it is the manner in which there's certain whispers that are happening in the corridors in terms of how he wins games. We had Coach Steve Compella now talking about what happened when he lost the game, what they found out when they did the investigation. The same thing. So there's and players are also that are talking, behind closed doors. And I think certain managers know that. And I think in terms of if you hire Pitso, this is what you are getting yourself into. This is how this man goes to war. These are the these are the things that he needs. These are the brown envelopes that he wants. So I think it's becoming very loud, and I'm very worried because I like Pitso. I really do, and I'm worried that every time someone new is coming, to hear. And if these things are getting through, it means that those that are in the field really do know these things. So I really want him to go and coach overseas. I agree with you. I think he's the type of coach that should be coaching in the EPL. He should be coaching in the highest because he does have the brains for football. He's got the love for football. He's got the passion for football. I have never seen a more passionate coach about football than Pitso. You can see it in his frustration when he loses. You can see it he really likes the game. He loves the game. So I would really, 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 really hope and pray that we get to see in our lifetime him coaching in the highest leagues in the world.
Okay. Let me bring in Kolani. I know we had a bit of this conversation in the group. We have a WhatsApp group, by the way, guys. Overthinking Football WhatsApp group. How do you see this move, Kolani? Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Uti. Evening to panel in the comment section. Yeah, Uti. As I said earlier on, Uti, for me, as Usinja has also mentioned, Uti, previously we second division league. So to get a request from the Pro League, it's actually an upgrade for him. Never mind Uti. Bambize, because they're calling him because they are now relegation candidates. Who knows first? Wafel Sundowns who are about to be relegated, and he saved us. And the following season, he won us.
He won the league, yeah.
He won the league, and he never finished under top 2 ever since with Sundowns. So who knows? Maybe is the way to go for him. And even to mention about the issue as a Europe, if they don't knock, they don't come and ask for his service. Because for him, angeza kwazi ukuthi ayifake lapha ayise lapha eEurope. So the best way is because for me he has done enough to be recognized lapha eEurope. I mean, what's the best way to advertise yourself than to win a Champions League and get a bronze medal with Club World Cup? So if they don't see him as our best African coach, as one of the best coaches in Africa, so finally it's a giant fit. He might as well go to Saudis. Well, we're second division. This time around, we say we Pro League with 15 games to go. So if who knows? Maybe if he proves himself, he will be able to beef up his squad so the following season and also maybe challenge for a league, because Saudis struggling team. Saudis, it doesn't mean they're also struggling financially. Saudis, they do have money. So yeah, that's my take.
Okay. Agent 007, how are you, my brother?
I'm super, man. I'm super. How are you,
Yesterday, you didn't even super stop. We were benching. We're not feeling good.
I was a student. I was listening to the masters.
It's no such bad.
And after some time, I was like, you Kumas, never gonna leave me alone for this. But it was insightful. It was nice listening to the guys, and yeah, it was a nice show, though,
Okay. What do you think of this move, Pitso, to above Saudi Pro League, 17th place?
Yeah. Middendorp. But what is the name of that guy who coached England for like 2 weeks? Relegation specialist.
Man, Sam Allardyce, Steve Bruce,
Sam Allardyce,
Roy Hodgson, yeah.
Yeah, that's the piece. That's the Pitso a group there. They're on the same WhatsApp group. They discuss, you know, but it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one. On one hand, you look at it from my own view as a soccer lover, you know. I think I hope these ladies who are listening and are not gonna get offended. It's not meant to be.
But just do it nice. Just be a gentleman.
You know, I'm trying to be a gentleman, you know. So I'm not being trying to be offensive, I'm just saying it out there, right? So, and I think we've had this conversation between me and you that, you know, I just feel, right, that sometimes it is best to give the job to people who are experienced, you know, than giving it to family, you know. Just because you're my brother, you're my friend, you're my wife, it's not always best because you are being given that based on
merit.
Yeah, it's not being given on merit, you know, just on by blood, you know. Yeah, they have an agency, cool, you know. And I get it that you want to keep a family business of trying to, what do you call it, make the business attractive to other people so that it can be their agent. And when they say this is the same agency that Pitso is on, I can also go to it also, you know, especially players. And so that when I'm in the same agency, then it means Pitso can take a look at me, you know. I understand it, like I understand all those, you know. But then it's a sacrifice, you know, you have to sacrifice, you know. Sometimes in a game of chess, you have to sacrifice pawns, you know. So it was a sacrifice that she made. I think that was the first error among a list of errors that she made, you know, because with an experienced agent who has connections, not just about experience, also about connections, you know. Like I said, I'm not saying Coach Pitso could have agreed to be a strikers coach at Man United, right? But if Benny is good enough to be, and I know yes, he has history there, but as a player, as a coach, Pitso Mosimane has more history, you know. And if my memory serves me right, he did play in Europe. I don't know if I'm recalling well.
Yeah, but wasn't it like not
a short
Cyprus?
time.
Yeah, but
Yeah, Cyprus. I think it was Cyprus. Yeah, so so he has the name there, you know, and Cyprus has good teams that you can go to, you know. So if they can recognize a Pitso Mosimane, a Benny McCarthy, and I was listening to him, he said, Man United wanted someone to be a striker coach, right? And then it was an internal process, you know, people submitted their CVs internally, you know, and then agent of an agent had, and he submitted his also, you know. So when you have such kind of network, it helps, you know. So you can't tell me a good experienced agent who has connections there can't sell Pitso to a Reading, for example, a championship team, you know, because if you have to go to a lower level, a championship, either go to League One, EPL, First Divisions, you know, the top 5, you know, so that you can make a step up to that. But if you go to a Saudi, you know, and Saudi Arabia is in the Gulf, and you are already known to be a top coach in the Gulf, who is coached Al Ali. Al Ali is huge in the Gulf, you know, it's very huge, support-wise, you know. I was watching a game of theirs there, and it was like the home, you know. So Al Ali is big there. So if you are known as a big coach in the Gulf and you are willing to go down to a championship level team, you know, that was the second mistake I feel, that you just took yourself out of a category of championship and went to a relegation or a promotion coach, you know. That was the problem again, you know. But okay, fine, give or take, let's say it was an enticing project. The third mistake you make is you're going there, but you don't put in guarantees, you know. when Ten Hag went to United, he says, I've heard that, excuse me, I've heard that you guys buy players who the coach don't want. But in my contract, I want the final say in the transfer of players. I have the veto power. If you guys want a player and I don't want it, it's not signed. You know? So he had that in his contract. So you go to a team which had like 10 managers in the past like 2 or 3 years. You know, you have to put in assurances. You know, you say, if I promote you guys, I have to coach you at least for a season, you know, provided that at least my win percentage is above maybe 60, whatever, or 70, 50, whatever it is, you know. So that's what you have to do. So if she made a mistake, he and Pitso and the wife, they made a mistake there, you know. But okay, fine, it's a good project. You managed to promote them. Cool, it's fine, right? Now you have what? A pedigree. I can say you have increased your CV a bit, you know, because these guys were sleeping giants, they're so-called sleeping giants. Sharp. Now you then take a project again into a mid-table team, and then you get fired from that team. You have taken your stock low, that it's going to take a miracle for you to recover it. Hence, I'm not surprised that this relegation team is wanting him, you know, and he's going to rescue them, and then they let him go, and he's going to look for the relegation team. But on the personal side, that's my last point. On the personal side, I understand he's getting old, he's not getting any younger. You know, maybe those aspirations of Europe long died, and like, you know, now is the time to secure the future, secure the wife, secure the kids, so that after you leave, they're well taken care of. So I understand from my personal side that, yeah, you'll be having millions in the bank. So, yeah.
Okay. Velile Mtakababa, how are you?
Kunjani bafethu ngathi khona umuntu ongisabotajayo la since Monday nje akuhlangani.
Hayi mina ngazi maybe nawe uphethwe uVodacom wethu.
Hawu lutho ndoda izolobe kuyi-load shedding manje ngithi ngiyangena ngicela ukuthi i-TikTok yami indala kumele ngi-update kumele ngiqale phansi. Hey, hayi kunzima.
Update maraw. Hebana.
Ngaphethe kodwa ngathi update kodwa ngathi yangibhadalisa lento ngicela ngithi kumele ngathi ngiyajoyina ngenkani futhi ekuvabo number 45 angisazi ukuthi ngathi sekukhona okubophela amanqine enyathi.
As long as leyo mali ingena la kimi ngi-right mara ngiyadlala Velile. Tell me, uthini ngale move kaPitso man?
No man, first of all I think ngibulisa abafethu like on the panel and also kuma-comment up on the side. Ngikuze ekuqaleni uthi uPitso i-Chiefs kwenze njani ukuthi it will be like downgrading as compared to second division in South.
No. I'm saying that he's gone from top coach in Africa when he was at Al Ahly to 2-3 moves, and then all of a sudden we look at him as the coach that must come back home, and we speak of him that he must retire. That's what I meant. Not Guti step up or step down directly, just from Al Ahly where he was.
Mara musuku eSaudi jobe ga coach Al Ahly bekufana ukuthi beka coach Swallows kumvela. Now it was a top team here.
Mara bekuvela.
Yeah, but so downgrade as compared to the Chiefs. I nizithathela phansi kakhulu mina.
Angisho with those ones. Ngikhuluma from Al Ahly. He was top. All of a sudden, so he must come deal with Bobby.
No, hey, Al Ahly Saudi. Ngikhuluma nge Al Ahly Saudi.
Ngikhuluma ngenkulu. Al Ahly Egypt. Angikhulumi nge-Saudi mina.
So should we be downgrade Leana Chiefs?
Yeah. Downgrade from Al Ahly Egypt to Al Ahly Saudi to the second division. Might as well come to Chiefs then.
But good Chiefs were upgraded from Al Ahly Saudi.
Yeah, I would say well from where he found them.
Okay, no, siyazwana ke lapha ngithi nginikhulumele lapha.
From where he found them.
Angala ngimthandi kodwa isikhathi iqiniso kumele ngeke ngimele nje ukuthi okay. No man, listen. This thing about Coach Pitso, I think kumele sibheke in two ways. Yokuthi I think it's all ubhuti uxolane there sometimes whereby you raise the point yokuthi on our group ukuthi kwesisikhathi kumele sithi must analyze these teams and what is happening ebholeni lethu. We also need to put our personal feelings aside and really analyze in terms of football. footballing nation than football, like playing countries. So good, are we really in that standard? Can you really match those people pound for pound? Siyibeke ekuqaleni ukuthi team yami ngiyayithanda ngisho ukuthi ingayishaya iStoke nani but then really take a look at it kahle. Because as I said, abotiko bakhala ukuthi ama-China bagijimisa kabuhlungu ngabo nge-Korea le. Ngiyacela ukuthi ama-team wethu akulelo zinga lelo. But on this one, he did mention ukuthi now he's working with projects. So I think nakhona if you look at a team there, ayakuyo manje. It's one of those projects whereby you just say we need to save a team from the relegation layer, and it will depend moving forward. It will depend on the type of contract that he will sign, and also if they stick to it. If Magai save on relegation, and then he can continue probably for next season. But it's only for that project, which means they also put in top dollars that he could not even refuse. That will also accommodate his personal life and also the project in our country, because we know we've got Pitso school, soccer school, so those things still need, and either sponsor, they still need to be maintained. So on this one, I mean, I think yes, it's part of his project that he said, but I also feel top dollars was dangled on his face to come in and to go into that team and try to sell them from relegation. Because at the end of the day, he doesn't lose anything. If they are poor delegation, he loses because there is no guarantee. But if already we 17 sports, there is no guarantee that he will save it. Anything can happen. If we are full ukuba mhlambe naye kwabo Allardyce bangale ngapha South Africa, and we mustn't compare it mhlambe UK or Europe, but they don't recognize us. It depends nakhona ukuthi whether UEFA Pro license, does it plays a role in those countries on how much do they recognize it, or is it a must or not, or it only pays advantage? Because if it's a must then automatically in cut out he won't go there up until he obtained it. That's why he's there. And he's not only there because mhlambe somebody believed in him and said, I'm going to give you this job, this is your money. No. We know first of all, he was an assistant in Scotland with the former Pirates assistant coach Wamtata. They were coaching a team in Scotland there. Lapashat foot, the citizenship foot. So it also plays a role in the corner. And the good Manchester, we know, Ten Hag, it's from his days.
From Netherlands, Ajax, yeah.
Ajax, so they know each other. Sometimes the connection iyasebenza as much as the connection imncedile uRolando ngoPitso yambuyisa kuSundowns. Today he's the coach now kuSundowns. So some of those things help. But if akanayo UEFA and it's a requirement in Europe, then asikhohlwe singakhuluma angazi kuze kwenze njani. But for now, I think on this project Saudi foot, it's only about money and also because he's unemployed, akasebenzi mos. So and remember, sometimes as if they approach you, you didn't put in your CV, they just approach you, which means they know what you can do. They've seen what he has done. Luckily, Leia Mampel as Egypt, and also where he was coaching now, UAE. And remember, Luckily has played lots of like on the golf side with the Arab Cup now and then. Remember, I think it also put him in a positive in the upper hand. So if Noma Anga rescuing this team on this league, I think he can still be appointed by another team as Saudi or UAE. That's maybe probably will be his territory now, unless maybe he can take a national team job or maybe go back to Egypt, maybe coach Zamalek or maybe not. But yeah, I think that will be his territory now moving forward on the golf side. But if you can get UEFA Pro license, it will be also be a step ahead for him. I don't see anything with him. Yeah.
Okay. I want to read some of these comments here. Tarabone, man, name the number of black coaches in Europe. That's part of the problem, and that's something that I want to speak about now. But what are those whispers? Pitso, players were paid. Let me not say Pitso. Players were paid and strategies were given before matches. A certain coach came out and said it. Tukompela came out and said, no, before his match against Sundowns, a player said that he was approached and they gave him certain details about the plan for Kaizer Chiefs for that game, and they went out and won that game. So those are the whispers. I look at Baxter, he got a chance in Europe, says Ntabeling. I mean, he hasn't done a lot. Kroll got it straight off the Pirates. The system that side is against black coaches, says Ntabeling. I really love to see Pitso in a championship side like Hull City and get promotion. This is a good test of mentality for Pitso because he can get the best out of the good players, says Wahib. Tabeling says, we're going to talk about how Europe doesn't love black coaches. Putin says he speaks like Kompela. So imagine the former coach of Crystal Palace hasn't been hired yet. People forget that Chris Hughton creates Brighton, but he never got a job in the EPL, says Ntabeling. But people like Lampard are given chances. Brighton he signed for Bright Excellence Media. He signed for Abba in the Saudi League. So yeah, there's a couple of questions there. He might go to the Nigerian national team next. Well, look, guys, what my whole point and part of this discussion, not the full discussion, is also how do we see ourselves versus the Europeans, right? So when we go coach for coach, can we, with good conscience, say that every coach in the EPL, every coach in the French league, every coach in the Spanish league, every coach in the German league, every coach go Italy, every coach in Romania, every coach in everywhere, Cyprus, Greece, everywhere, Belgium, Portugal, all of them are better. Fine, they might not be interested, but I don't like this idea that, yeah, no, he's just not worthy. Kumo, I'm gonna come to you with that. Well, with a similar question. How much do you think the marketing and the connections and all of those things play into it? Because whenever we speak about Pitso, all I hear about, no, he's got an attitude. No, he's not technically that good. That's a new one that's been coming up now. No, he's going to want everything. He might go out and do this. Did he really win like that? Was he actually that good? If you listen to the Al Ali people, they always say, was he actually that good? How much of those things play into him not being able to break into Europe?
Oh, okay. Let me quickly address something. I'm gonna be nice, I promise. I would going to Kaizer Chiefs get downgraded. Nagi Mr. OTT. I'm not a host, so I can be honest with you. Imagine the only cup that Chiefs got in the last 10 years, LA Kalim Cup, LA Plastic, the one in a group work. So now from the Champions League, both Fed Police World Cup, I go Chiefs. Lenang kaya go third division na go Saudi Arabia. Okay, so I'm done with my little rant then. So Mr. Uti, you know what? I agree. Benny has a UEFA Pro license, right? So maybe there, like go Europe, they don't consider our KF Pro A license as equivalent to them. I get it now. We take anything from Europe, even though they can come and coach here. Maybe that is the problem. Instead of us rushing happy to and say, hey, racism. Yeah, I know it's there, but sometimes see if you ticked all the boxes, right now as a coach, you can't claim and say, it's because of that, because you don't click all those boxes. Connections work hard. I won't lie to you, work hard. You know, I was one of those guys who kept on saying, I don't understand why was Steven Gerrard coaching in the EPL. You're Frankie Lampard, you're Patrick Vieira's, you're one. But those guys say, if you look at it, you're also doing the same here. I mean, like we've got Benny McCarthy, Coach Mazulu, Steve Kompela, Mabuti Kenyans, including Belanomve. Why aren't we complaining about Mad? I'm going to use Chiefs again as an example. There's a coach from Zimbabwe. He won 8 times. He's got 8 league titles from Zimbabwe.
And 4
Zambia. Alamad, because why? I give there's some things. Get the same mentality that the Europeans have against Pitso. So we shouldn't be crying about such things because you're also the same. So, Malawi, okay, sharp.
Malawi, okay.
Yeah, man. No, man, connections really do play a part. I mean, like they get you through the door. Once you get through the door, then as a coach, you can market yourself. That's how it works. I mean, like connections everywhere in the world. I mean, like for instance, Nale agent we went to that agent clearly he's the smarter guy. Mara because of who my father is, I get the job because of so that's how it works in the world. So that is why networking, and that is why people say your network is your wealth. So yeah, as long he meets the criteria to the T, then and get those connections, it's gonna be okay.
But then is there a problem that maybe we don't see him that way? Because every time I bring up the subject or we speak about the subject anywhere, you'll have it's sometimes even split halfway. Good guy, he's not good enough. Others saying they're good enough. Seemingly, is that also an issue? Because when we look at, for example, Arteta, my coach, from the time they said that Arsenal is interested in the assistant coach at Man City, Pep said he's the genius. Klopp said he's a genius. But all of Europe goes, hi guys, no money this is our guy. Do we lack that here in Africa?
Exactly, but I mean, like equivalent of Pep Klopp or in Africa, Pitso Mosimane. So if Pitso Mosimane were to endorse Rolando Mokwena, people will be fighting over him because he's got influence. Imagine if you were endorsed by arguably the two greatest managers in our current generation. They saying Arteta is the best, and look at where you are. You are told you are under the stewardship of Pep. Manchester City, which is dominating the world. Obviously, people are gonna assume that you've learned the one thing, and also like you played for you from Spain, the type of football that you were exposed to, you played for Arsenal. Definitely, like you were like what we call a calculated risk. Do you get my point? So it was because remember, like if you get a coach from Pitso knows nothing about EPL, and he played with Cyprus, local USA, I think. Right? So culture, he's not acclimatized to the weather, the situation, the culture. So one of these guys like Arteta, wow, you get sorry, I'm actually advocating for Arteta. How can yeah, ne? So Arteta, I think he was a captain. He knows the pressures of being a player. Like he knows, even though he doesn't have much experience. Maragiri, sometimes clubs need a wild card. And I believe Arteta was that wild card. And honestly, I don't think he's one of the good coaches, because I believe like the season that he had last season was a fluke. In terms of like his rivals, like the main man. I won't get too deep. I get I had low shedding, so I couldn't discuss my point. So I'm
very quickly, Barao.
Yeah, quickly. Liverpool, my team, we had so many injuries, right? Chelsea had their own issues with their Roman Abramovich situation. So obviously, you can rely on United to be a contender for the Premier League. So obviously, it was time for him. I wonder if he can achieve what he did last season again this season. Then we can say sharp, he's a good coach. But now,
Hey, Mara. Sinje, how much of this is marketing and those things? Because if I am objectively somebody who doesn't know Pitso Mosimane's, and I'm looking for a coach, and I come across this name of this African coach, and I look around the sentiments of what people say around him. You hear he's difficult. You hear he's king. He's coaching. People are questioning his coaching. Others are saying he's buying things. There's hems and backgrounds. We see him on TV being difficult. How much of those things go against Coach Pitso?
Yeah, man, they do. Let's start here. Coach Pitso has a UEFA Pro license, which is the highest coaching license.
Man doesn't have
in
a
the entire
CAF
world.
Pro.
There's no.
Isn't it CAF Pro? He's got CAF Pro.
He's got a UEFA. He's got a UEFA. He's got a.
Sinjay, if you are getting
Doesn't have a
market,
capital
I
license,
think
but
I
a
think he's
UEFA Pro.
confused because I had Kalani saying the same thing. I just checked on transfer market. They say UEFA Pro. I think they're mistaken. I think it's African Pro.
Okay, we'll look it up. We'll look it up. Go on, Sinjay. We'll look it up.
No. I am looking at it now. Coach Pitso Mosimane'S qualifications, UEFA Pro license, same as Pep Guardiola, same as Benny McCarthy, same as Stephen Pinar, same as Molifenseki.
Okay, I don't
I'm
see,
looking at
but
it
it's
now
fine.
on
It's fine.
transfer market. I'm looking at it on transfermarket.co.za.
Okay, no, it's fine. Let's go with it. Let's go with it.
So yeah. So he's qualified. That's what I'm trying to say. To coach in it's not a it's not a matter of qualifications. That's what I wanted to emphasize. Secondly, I can't let what Kumo said slide about Chiefs. People must behave. But anyway, I'll let it slide.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Go. What's this thing? Google Scholar agent. If transfer market
Okay,
is
guys,
not
no,
academic
let's
for you
not get
enough, maybe
distracted.
Google
Let's not
Scholar
get
agrees.
distracted for time's sake.
Yeah. So my first point was to say he's well qualified. He has the experience. He has the knowledge of football. So it's a matter. I want to first of all agree with you. It's a matter of also the repertoire that Pitso has built for himself. In terms of the reputation that he has built for himself, in the manner that he is winning, in also good repertoire in the amount of teams that he has transformed to the what you call this, to the World Club Cup. So he's not a stranger to Europe. Let's start there. He's not a stranger to that stage. If he has played against the best of the best, and he has come out third, if I'm not mistaken.
On 2 occasions.
So I really want to see him go there. Yeah, I really want to see him go there. As for Chiefs being a downgrade, hey, listen, yeah, we'd rather be a downgrade than have our father creating us trophies because we have lost all the trophies in the previous season. You know, it's nice to have a father who can just say, I'm going to create a tournament, 75 million, just to break budget because we know the team is hurting. But anyway, it's all right. It's fine. We are here. We are a downgrade. It's okay. It's fine.
Hey, okay. No, guys. Well, okay. I'll also look it up because I have different sources here. When I've looked at it, a lot of them are saying he's got a CAF Pro license, which is the equivalent of UEFA A, and that's what he has. He's the first. He's one of three coaches, if I'm not mistaken, to have that CAF Pro license. So I'm not sure, but we'll look it up. Kolani, how much of this is the other stuff, man? Guti Upitso, but too difficult, but he doesn't play good football, but he, unjani. There's so many stories when you hear Upitso. How much of that plays into it? Because my argument here is that Europe, they'll tell you good to know. Arteta, I'm using Arteta as an example, guys, please. Arteta is a genius. Any team would be great to have him, would be grateful, it'd be amazing, what. And he'd never been a head coach at that point, right? How much of that helps them and hurts us? Because Tina, we'd much rather fight amongst ourselves to help Pitso. Also, even just to lie, even if we don't believe it. How do you feel those things hurt to Pitso?
It has hurt him a lot first when I would see, and reference first helps, like mawuzobuka i-case ya Rulani. I mean, Upito said it way back. This guy is gonna be a special coach. Like he's gonna be a great coach in Mzansi. At a point that where even if Pirates saw him as like that, yamthatha yamenza assistant coach yamichu. Kwaba khona into eyenzakalayo. I don't know what happened. Wahamba ukusho kwasalo and well, ama result didn't came for him and. Omlanda back Pitso futhi yabo and tell stay here, the trophies are here. So if reference ga Arteta was Pep Guardiola, I mean come on my guy. Yabo Pep is like currently the best coach. Yabo. So who can dispute judgment ka Pep at the moment? Plus he was working with him, yabo. So they'll take Pep's word. That's all. Hey. So So I think Upito must have someone in Europe if he still wants to be a coach in Europe and have someone who, or maybe to even be an assistant coach.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I doubt it can be an assistant coach for one man because I think the age is against him.
Okay.
And yeah, yeah, you know what I would say.
Oh no, Yaguzo, actually there's something happening. No stress. Let me bring in agent. The softer skills, does it hurt Africans in general that like we don't seem to be behind, or you know how Europe can decide something and then they'll tell us, the rest of the world, that this is what we believe. See, now we still have that struggle of, doing that for our own. Does that hurt him?
Yeah, and you, oops, give me a second there. Okay, thank you. Like you rightly said, man, it's not always about what you know, man. It's who do you know? That's the most important question in life, For example, it's a simple example. And I'll be like Vina Kanyo today. I don't care who sees what.
Hey, but you're fixing African football.
I'm fixing African football, eh? I can say, without fear or favor, that of all the shows, I listen to Motsweding specifically. Motsweding, SABC One, SABC Sport, and Super Sport. You have more talent than that host, without fear of contradiction. But they are there,
Exactly,
and I'm be surprised 2 days, 3 weeks, next week, you see new faces, So it's what you know. It's not what you know, man. I think I can say your stuff. You know how to be a good host. Can listen to someone going to Road Z and just be patient. And we have all the skills, eh? But so yeah, it's the same with Pitso that he knows football. But does he know the right people in the right positions? So I think for me that's his biggest downfall for me. And I think the Al Ali or the Egyptian media didn't help his case also because we're told he doesn't play good football, he doesn't just win. He got a squad which was built for him, and the fact that he didn't necessarily win the league was already won, the quarters. It didn't help his case that this guy's gonna win it, blah blah blah. So I think the Egyptian media destroyed his reputation, right? And for the longest of times, his darlings now, they're against him, they're like, hey, Pitso's not good. Pitso's, the same people that pretend to love him and want him at all costs, and the internet never forgets, So if you're a good club, you do a simple background check, you check, and you find such kind of things like what even Compella revealed, like, hey, so this guy was match fixing, and it's gonna carry more substance because they're gonna say, how true is this guy? But then this guy went to Sundowns, he was assistant there, so he knows what is happening, you know. So such kind of things, man. Then and the Maluleke Shaka that he did, and he admitted that he wanted to destabilize Chiefs. It hurts, Hence, I'm always say, be careful of what you say and what you talk about in social media. So I think, the soft skills aid I'm a blind, and it's come again, my Mila, who went to private school. He just speaks, So sometimes you have to be, like one thing about Uglani is advertising yourself well.
Yeah.
I don't think Uglani is half a man, Pitso is. But he sells himself, He goes to Egypt, he discusses tactics, what schemes,
It's on purpose,
it's on purpose, like, this thing knows, this guy knows his stuff, So, I think soft skills are killing him, to be honest with you, and the rumors that are surrounding him aren't helping. So, the short answer is yes. I'm cookie, man.
Velile. Unganaka abantu abapheka ngo-9, but it's fine. No, I'm kidding. Velile, tell me.
Baqeda ukuthatha iplate uqeda ukudla umzulu uyabonga lapho.
Tell me, Velile. Le ndaba yokuthi asikwazi ukummarketa uPitso, because I know, for example, Jose Mourinho, one of the loudest coaches, who says the craziest things. Mama marketer, they don't call him crazy. They say no, he will say those things, but he will win you trophies. Or you know what I mean? They have that thing when they speak about their coaches. Tina maskulma ngabo Pitso. Hey, si negative. Does that also hurt about Pitso when they go and market themselves elsewhere?
I think not to say ukuthi iyabaheta, but I believe ukuthi mhlambe mina Europe, they are more patriotic towards their own when it comes to whether it's football players or the coaches, because enye into nakhona which gives advantages to other coaches njengabo Mourinho. Remember Mourinho, most of the people started noticing him after he won, I think UEFA nabo Porto.
Yeah, UEFA Porto.
Porto. And if you know UEFA, it's televised worldwide. Everybody knows. It's like a league that's playing during the week. We can't say it unless it's like a game, but it plays every week, so it's there in our eyes every week, whether we like it or not. So it also advertises. I'm a coach, a corner who's got potential. Whether they're coming to those with that we regard as small leagues, whether it's Portugal, Belgium, or Turkey, about those countries. So it also gives advertisement to those coaches that are coaching their teams. And also, secondly, most of the European teams, when it comes to EPL, I think Arsenal, since Gohambu Wenger, they've left their system of playing go. For example, let's take Barcelona. Remember, Abo Guardiola, they didn't come from any other team. They've coached from a youth structures of Barcelona. Before he became the head coach of Barcelona, which means it took courage from the president of Barcelona to take a youth coach and make a first team job, because he knows good he's got a pedigree in terms of like playing in the best at the highest level with Barcelona and Europe, and also win trophies with Barcelona. So he knows him. So it's a matter of that believing in this person also. They've done that also with Philippi.
Yeah.
Philippe, the one who's coaching the national team, was coaching team as France, imagine, Paris Saint-Germain.
I'm forgetting his name. Yeah.
Louis. But the coach at PSG now. Remember now, after the coach like the junior teams, the Barcelona, of which is the same thing that they are doing also Nagu Amsterdam, go Ajax. So it's more of them believing in their own than to listen to the noise outside. Cool. Upito, I think if he had more time, that's why if he had more time dominating, go CAF Champions League, because Champions League winner 3, I think 2 with Al-Ahly, 1 with Sundowns. Yeah, 3 times. I think if he had more chances again, would maybe at least get 5 or 6. And also when it comes to go Club World Cup, because he went when he went Google Club World Cup. If at least manage time to go to a second place, adlale with one of the team which ehlala khona, but whether it's Barcelona or Real Madrid, that they're always there. I think mhlambe if it would have boosted also nakhona profile yakhe, because yeah, we have to agree. Europe, he's not that much big. Kangako. They don't recognize him that much, and you won't blame them. It's the same thing that we're doing also now. As recognize any coach from Malawi or from Zambia. No, we don't also do. Zamani's coaches are one about Maputi, Brandon Truth, about Champ, by Mazul, we also do that in our. It's one of those things because. And sometimes we are not so exposed to Amanyama leagues and see how other coaches are doing. We only exposed to Ama coaches like those one that Nakones Neta Sundowns, yeah, Nilchi, let's Neta Sundowns, Champions League, because we know Ama coaches Abu Alahli and why that we know the coaches why that by Oshile was this one. We only exposed on those one, but not all of them Champions League in that way. So, but Europe. They are so patriotic towards their own veil. It's this kind of thing. It will take miracles just to take someone who's coming, especially Africa. No.
Mara Velile, isn't that part of the issue then? Buti, I often sit back now and I think to myself, I have a football show, we do this thing, we speak. I can't name you 5 great coaches in Africa. Like by name, Guti, outside of Lava Mzansi, I can't name you 5. And Champions Leagues have been playing, AFCONs have been playing. Isn't that part of the problem, Guti? Not itself as the Africa. Not enough is being done to make sure Guti has the Pitso Mosimane'S in Malawi, Uzban Bamazi in Tanzania. People are known, Mama South Africa. Like for example, the coach we're being linked with was Zimbabwe, who's won the 8 leagues in a row and things like that. I don't know him up until Babegi Pepper Pamgwambate guys. Now umuntu bafuna ukumsayina. So then obviously my first thought is going to be yes, from Zimbabwe. You know what I mean? Don't we suffer from that as a continent as a whole? Nokuthi is uplifte abetu.
No, you are correct in that instance, but also at the same time, don't forget, Europe, it's much more advanced as compared to us, and the standard is higher. Seeing as it's Valley and try to be like it. Bona, they've put themselves up there. That's what makes them advantage food. Is what I'm saying. Good enough. You are watching the UEFA Champions League, and the Thursday. Conference League, UEFA is the Conference League. You see, I know it's a Thursday. So whether UEFA is Tuesday and Wednesday. So come whether dark or blue, I know Tuesday and Wednesday is UEFA Champions League. Thursday UEFA Conference League. That's how they do. They've marketed the UEFA in such a way you will recognize it, whether you like it or not. You will know who's coaching that team, You even know the groups. Group A, whatever, who are leading there. You see, it's out there. It's in your face. It's well marketed and it broadcasts in more. I think most of the countries it broadcasts. Everybody knows about it. Especially for the Africa corner and Sakulumi. We know what UEFA is there. But it's unfortunately because when it comes to resources, Africa, yes, we are still behind, whether we like it or not. It also contributes in a corner that even though our president, KEF president, our president, he's trying his best now to make sure that at least KEF competition they are a bit enticing to watch and also the price. Now, do you see also his statement as released where he Kunjani multi-choice also with his help, but manage looks like which means there is more viewership for AFCON. So it exposes the so the figure on that level, even though it's figure in that way, but as long as we can keep professionalism and also our coaches need to be professional. Also now they must be ambitious enough to move around. is it as bad not only staying in South Africa or staying in one country, because at some of they become just too comfortable. If you are too ambitious, surely you will be recognized. Ungasabi sometimes as a South African, go to Tanzania if I want to don't find a job, go there. Surely maybe
Thabo
they
Sinong, coach of Singita, Singita Gate.
Yeah, bona about lo wase Botswana lo wenza into ezwayilesa
Uramuremuli.
angeke iphinde yenzeke lento ayenzile in his lifetime lento ayenzile eSouth Africa, so yeah.
Okay. I think, guys, before I read these comments, I just wanted to get into that because I feel again, Guti, as Africa, guys, there's a reason why you think that Champions League is the best. There's a reason why you think that Europe is the best. There's reasons why we see these things. And one of the reasons, I guarantee you, is what Uvelile said right now. I know the days, the times, the teams that are going on Champions League. I can access UEFA Champions League easier than I can access Champions League. Sundowns was playing TP Mazembe just the other day. Remember how we had to watch on Facebook? We had Facebook pages and things like that in order just to watch Sundowns versus TP Mazembe. But when you switch on the TV, you can watch somebody, we were speaking about it yesterday, somebody said that you can watch North Macedonia versus versus Luxembourg. Jay, you switch off the TV, you switch on the TV, you like the TV, it's on, it's right there, you can watch it. Think about how simple that is. I made the example the other day, Yoguti, I can see all of Henri's goals. I can see every single one of Henri's goals. I know them. I'm an Arsenal fan, by the way. I know all of his goals. I can't remember 10 of Mbesuma's goals. Think about how many times you see those things. So I think the same things apply in Africa. How is Africa supposed to get behind a coach like a Pitso, a coach like Ubanekola, and now a coach like these other people or the ones that have been successful, if most of us can't even watch the games? And we're so separate. Whereas in Europe, when they agree on something, or they've decided that they agree on something, you will know about it. Xavi is the most incredible coach ever. That's why when he comes back to Barcelona, Barcelona is going to flourish. Because Xavi on the pitch, he used to scan, and you'll hear interviews of my players saying, no, he was a coach on the pitch. That's what they're saying about Xavi Alonso. He was a coach on the pitch. He was so smart, blah, 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 blah. He has not coached one game. And already we have been told to believe that. Then we watch a Pitso win the 5 league titles that he won here in a row, win the trophies he won here, win the Champions Leagues that he won, the 3 Champions Leagues, go and coach Al Ali, first Sub-Saharan King black man, if I'm not mistaken, to go coach Al Ali. He does so well that side. It's huge in the Gulf. He's got one of the biggest fan bases, yada, 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 yada. He's got the licenses. But yet ourselves, I will believe that assistant coach Wangale or a guy who's never coached Ngale as a head coach is somehow already better than Upitso. And I'll never question in my own mind that why do I think this? We don't master the soft skills. Think about everybody, everything we say about Upitso. He's got an attitude. He's this. He's that. He's that. We don't even wrap it up like you wrap up by Mourinho. No, Mourinho wants to win at all costs. That's what you buy when you bring in Mourinho. Mourinho's going to take your team and go win. That's not the narrative around Upitso, for example, right? Those are simple things that you can fix, even himself, I guess. But then those are simple things out in media that you can fix, right? But we don't do it anyway. Kolane. Say you were Pitso coming from Al Ali. What Egypt Al Ali? What moves would you have made if you were in his shoes, without knowing what happened to him going forward? What moves do you think he should have made, if at all you think it's different? He should have done something different.
ish uthi before ngiphendule lo mbuzo uthi ngicela ukubuyela emumva when you were talking about you that you don't even know ukuthi who we can name like 5 or 3 coaches, top coaches in Africa. I think that I think logo it also comes with it's because amateam makulu fethu they don't. I mean, I think they're quick to fire like my coaches, my team up like my teams like Al Ahly and Upito had advantage with Sundowns in iskati, and that is why African Mazi. Hence, Urulan is Gangut Norulari now is benefiting from that, which Sundowns is giving him his cut seat. But on the next move, Capito from Al Ahly, I really don't know because I think McMillan ends more connections with Europe. I'm sorry, because really, for him to go to Europe, it will take a team to be interested on him. Because ngiyazi ayibeke lapha ngisasho namanje mfethu and the fact that we're talking about his move, it shows we really like him and respect him. Sometimes ngaveli lokho because he was coaching Sundowns and Sundowns doesn't have numbers when it comes to our fans, so anything against anything come out Sundowns, gune Pirates, gune Chiefs, they will oppose their opinion. So I think nalo will come as a negative effect to Pitso. I so wish to know if he was coaching the Chiefs, would say, hey, the hype, the hype that he was going to get. And I think now logo bekuzomsiza futhi uyangithola. Okay. Whenever there's something positive from the Chiefs, I mean, Ukut was talking about the group work, but group work cap, but busibonile ukuthi ichile because any cap is going to a natural allegedly.
It's going to our second home, the PSL offices. It's fine.
Yeah. Hey, sure.
Okay.
And sure.
Oh, great. No, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So, I think you saw Evedix here, PSL with Swallows.
We're going to speak about that. Sure. Yeah, we're going to speak about that another day. Don't worry. Agent, what moves would you have made? As your name dictates and says agent, what moves would you have maybe made differently or maybe kept the same in terms of when Pitso left Egypt?
I think I would have stayed in the Gulf, to be honest with you, because I think already I'm popular there, I think I would, if I can't get a job, maybe in a mid-table or upper top 8 team, top 6 team in the Saudi League, there's still Qatar there. I think with the FIFA World Cup frenzy, Qatar is also trying to invest in there. So I would have went to Qatar also. And then after Qatar, Saudi, then others, bigger kingdoms, like that, or just stay close to home, in terms of Egypt. Like I said, home, I mean Egypt, not South Africa, Egypt, where you take a Raja or a Wydad, where you know that still be competing in CAF.
Oh, Morocco,
winning. Yeah, so yeah, I think that the thing was once he made a point to go to the Gulf, it was important that he built a structure there, and as more people get exposed to the Gulf League and World League, I think that was a path for him to say, hey, but there's this coach, man, who's very good. Oh, mothers, how are you? But anyways, I think I'm hearing she's talking that side. But anyways, So yeah. I think that was it for me.
Okay. Velile, what would you have done differently in Pitso's shoes, or would you have done anything differently? Egypt, when he left Egypt.
Eish, I think as Upito has said, he just needed to take that project. But I mean, personally, if I was in his shoes, angithi njengoba ngishilo as I've said, maybe like on the dollar was calling on that side. But
Yeah.
but if maybe he could have just waited kuphela AFCON. There is a kunomsebenzi ommele khona abazophuma early njengathi after first group, the Nigerian national team. If you coach that team, Nigerian national team, I think it would have allowed him to spend more time in Europe in watching Nigeria, because most of them they are in Europe. So different leagues in Europe, and not just any league, in best leagues in Europe. So I think it will build a better relationship with that particular time that he'll be using at that time, coaching the Nigerian national team. So in Europe, I think it will have also elevated his profile. And I think he would have even done well with the Nigerian national team. I trust him. He would have just done well. And Jova Nation would have exposed him more Europe, watching those games every weekend now and then, whether moving across Europe, whether to Spain, France, UK, yeah, but those countries. So yeah, if I was him, maybe Jova Nation, but because there's no guarantee with Vednakona in Nigeria, we will hire him, but that would have been the better option as compared to lapha khona manje. But as indoda siyazi kumele asebenze, he needs to work, so he can take that opportunity. And that's why, as I said, it comes in more expensive, especially if they've approached you, than you sending your CV. You know, if they have approached you, you charge the way you like. Said, in order for me to do this, this is my offer. So you are the one who are determining the price. So he's got a good offer there. That's why he's going there. Yeah. But the Nigerian one, it would have exposed him more into a European market as compared to Lapacon. Yeah.
Okay. Dwayne, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
I'm doing great. Yourself?
No, I'm good, my brother. I'm good. So, because I'm letting you in now and there's time, but I'm still going to allow you, I'm going to ask you two questions. The first one, what do you think of Pitso's move to the Saudi Pro League? And then secondly, what would you have done anything different if you were in Pitso's shoes when he left Egypt?
See, man, with regards to Pitso, I feel like he has done it in the Saudi league. I feel like he should see if there's any other league that he could try out, because already he has his CV, he has done what he had to do that side. And I feel like if he would compete with Sundowns, it could be a Soweto team or any other team, if he could compete with Sundowns and gun them down, it would be a very competitive thing. And everyone is already looking at Sundowns in terms of how they're performing at the time. So it would really increase the type of competition also in the SA football, because I feel like it's only him and Rolani Mkwena and Mangoba Mneti that are actually putting in the work. So if all of that, the focus, and also our sponsors and investors will be back into watching the type of football we're going to be offering, because it's going to be competitive. Because at the moment, Sundowns is really killing it. They already got like any type of player they want, they're getting. And also the type of coaches they have and everything. So I feel like if he would come back in SA and compete with Sundowns, it would really be a good thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let me.
That's what I feel. And
Go on.
yeah. And another thing I want to say is that just keep on pushing, bro. I normally watch your content even on YouTube, but check you out even on TikTok when there's every games. Just keep it up, man, and all the best of luck with the content, man. Thanks.
Thanks, my brother. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you. It's good to hear. Kumo, are you back?
Yo. Yeah, ke sharp. Ratla ra ikhutsa score sa go pelta sa bo agent le bo velile. Tshwenyana. Awanyana.
Ay, Mara. Hi, wena ka violence. Barakubo. Straight to the question. What would you have done differently in Pitso's shoes after leaving Egypt?
you know what, guys, ne? I could obviously like we know who going to Europe was a struggle. Wow, one thing Pitso loves the challenge. Pitso thrives on challenges, and like I know for a fact that when he went to the Saudi second division, he knew that he was gonna make them progress to the next division, and by doing so, he was gonna get exposed and continue on, and perhaps try to win the Pro League as well. I mean, like by the time he was there, think of who was there. There were Ronaldos, your Benzimas, your Conte. So going there, it wasn't just a decision that he took lightly. It was, I mean, like coming from a Sundowns, going to Al Ahly. What other what other teams was there besides the ones in Morocco and also in Tunisia? You know, obviously there was the. But MLS, guy, the teams don't get relegated. They call it soccer.
Better.
There's nothing.
It's better. Coming. There's
There's only Messi.
The owners, American owners own teams elsewhere. You can get a free pass maybe through.
Oh, but says Salah, man, guys, you want to play against Ronaldo? Or wanna?
Yeah, Messi will take
Messi is washed up. Messi will feel a World Cup on dubious grounds. So you don't want to talk about Messi, ne? Outlook of Ronaldo. I know what I said. I know what I said. Don't try and put words in my mouth. But it made a lot of sense, and the fact that he went there, we didn't question it back then. So now we shouldn't double down and say, maybe, man, that wasn't a good choice and whatnot. Now, I hear people speaking about Nigerian what is gonna help elevate him to go to Europe. It's all the network.
Yeah, I've still got you.
Okay, no, it's fine. I'll go to.
Oh.
It's fine. No, it's fine.
Okay.
Oh, I'm
okay.
back. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Carry on.
Yeah, as I was saying, there was no guarantee that I mean, like, how many Nigerian coaches do you know? Like after coaching the Nigerian team, went on to bigger clubs or even bigger countries. So the move back then, it makes sense. Even the move now, it makes sense. I mean, like I said earlier before, if life hands you lemons, make lemonade. Make sure you're gonna cash out as much as you can. It's fine. If now you aren't getting respected, deal with it. It's fine. We respect you. We worship you. We love you. So I see no other choice that you could have made back then.
Okay.
Sorry, Mr. OG. I know we don't normally do this, but I just wanted maybe to respond to Ukumo, not just to respond, but maybe to correct the statement there. Because when I said if he's coaching the Nigerian national team, I was talking more in terms of networking with the European coaches where the Nigerian players are playing, because it gives him the free pass to get closer to any coach that coach his players that he will lead the national team, and it also
things like that.
The way forward. It will give him that pass to have an access on any team that Nigerian players are playing, as most of them are playing in Europe. Man. I was just saying in that context. Yes.
Okay, no, that's fine. You might have meant well, but me, I like to just mess around with people, so don't ever take me seriously.
Really, you should never you should forget this model C keys. They don't know English, they don't listen.
I'm bad. Okay, let me go to Kolani. Okay, no, before I jump in there, again, I just think it feels like we are. Okay, how I would have done it for me. I understand the move that he made. I think the understanding I have is that, okay, you're going to the Saudi League. The Saudi League is about to get a ton of sponsorship. The team that wants you is a top 4 team that just so happened. It's one of the biggest 4 that just so happened to be relegated, and they're calling you. So maybe it gives you a chance to bring them up. It theoretically should be easier because this is a big club. Come back up, get back into the league, and then you get a shot at being in the news because Abo Ronaldo are there and things like that. I understand. My question with Coach Pitso was, you go to this team, you promote it, but nothing in your contract is strong enough to go, yeah, guys, this is what I need to do, because it honestly feels like they went for the best coach who's going to take this thing without complaining. So, hey, we can't go to Europe and try and get those coaches because, yo, guys, if we try and get those guys, they're not going to want to come because it's a first division coach. Who else is popular within the Gulf and within that area? You know what? There's that guy, man, who was coaching Al Ahly. Let's bring him in because we know he's good. It's not a risk. We're bringing him in. He's going to coach this team. He's going to get us back in. Once we get back in, Shem, it's curtains. We're going to go get somebody else. That's how it feels in Pitso's case. And I worry that, was he too happy maybe for the job or too happy for the approach, that maybe the paperwork wasn't as strong as it should have been, type of thing. That was what I criticized about that move. Then the move to the UAE, again, I understand the idea of it, where you go. A lot of the teams in Europe are owned by a lot of these guys from the UAE and those places. Maybe if I can forge my name there, one of them will bring me to one of their teams somewhere else in Europe. I understand it. I think my only thing that I am battling with is it feels as though Coach Pitso is in a beggar's position, and maybe you go to the MLS and you do the same thing. Maybe you go to, I don't know, the South American League. I don't know, you go there. He used to scout there apparently. Maybe you go there and make a name for yourself if it really is about projects and challenges, right? The MLS guys also own teams in America and all those guys. Maybe you go coach Colorado and then Stan can take you to Arsenal. I don't know, right? But that's my only worry here, is that it feels that our reasoning is that he needs to build and build and build and build. We'll see, then eventually they'll open. And I don't think that Europe is going to open like that. So for me, my move would have been, okay, go to Saudi, get a proper contract. If it doesn't work out, go to the MLS. You know, Bradley Cornell is doing well that side. Go to the MLS, see if you can get in there, and go through different routes, if that makes sense.
Sure.
What I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm just going to go through everybody and give you a chance to do short closing statements. Kolani, I'm going to start with you. What is your closing statement for tonight?
Yeah, I would say my closing statement, I would say I don't think Upito, I think all the move Upito took was excellent for him.
Okay.
Because I doubt that a team from UAE would have hired him if he heading for him if Benga
Saudi.
Sure. So even if I was negotiate for Iklo, would say once I qualified this team, I need to like coach it for maybe the next 2 seasons. But still, he got the benefits. Would say I'll be exposed to a Manyama team.
Okay.
So none of which when I would say should he and also the age is against him, and also he's not well. So recently got the Pumas better. So I think coaching is stressing him, yeah, and coaching is also a stressing job. So why not cash in and then first aspirations are covered, like wanting to build a soccer school in South Africa and build a legacy on that. So that's my take.
Okay, no, I hear you. No stress. Agent, can you take a minute from the dishes and give us your closing statement?
Aye, man, hey, I need to eat because, hey, this Model C kids, This Model C kids. Huh? Yeah. But with an English which comes out of the nose instead of the mouth, that is fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Wait. I played it for Kumo. I must play it for you too.
But just do it nice. Just be a gentleman.
Let me be a gentleman and say, but in any family, we have what we call groundbreakers, people who are the first to do something, I'm sure even you'll build a double-story house and you expect your kids to build a triple story if there's any, house, So I think Peter's laid the foundation, so that the guys like Abu Rulani can learn from him, and it's possible to coach in the Gulf, it's possible to coach anywhere whatever you want, and I think it's up to those coaches to seek his counsel, and say, but Utom Dala, where do you think you went wrong, so that you can correct also, Because I think it's not an overnight thingy. To this day, I don't think there's a black coach in EPL. Is there any? Because I'm trying to remember. I don't think there's
right
any black
now,
coach in EPL.
Nelibo Vieira fella.
Yeah,
Vieira, I think Paul Ince got to try. But it's few and far between.
Things, and even small things like a Rayof, I think there's only one black Rayof, I think,
Only got the job this year.
So we only got the job this year. So we're still far, I don't think, maybe in my lifetime, I think maybe Kumo and others can see it in their lifetime. I don't think in my lifetime I will see it, but it's up to the guys like Abu Rulani to continue Pitso went and say, you went to the Gulf, let me go and try the French league, because you're also selling in name that, hey, I think South African coaches have talent, So I think to answer Coach Butukuzu, I think as Roger Disa, if you cut him as South African, and I said Kylie Canel, Pitso, and Benny McKeith on top of my head. I think those are the 4 or 5 that I know. And lastly, I think on Pitso specifically, I think he has done well for himself, He has done well for himself. I think it will be remembered as one of the best coaches to ever grace this continent, alongside I almost said a Heldring. That Egyptian coach.
The Egyptian guy. I know that. Yeah, I know the guy you're talking about.
So it's he's up there with them on the African continent. I think he's done well for himself. So I think he did well. So other stuff, you can't always achieve all your dreams at the same time. You just have to achieve some you don't achieve, and it's fine. So he's done a good job, man. But he must pay back our money, Pay back our money. We're still on our money.
Hey, Mara, you guys. Velile, closing statement for tonight.
Uxolani lapha uthe uPitso umdala for kuba assistant. Hey, I've seen 2 old assistant coaches British lapha. Manchester City. Assistant coach lapha kaPep la madala.
Steve Round lapha.
Chelsea ama-assistant akhona yamakhehla ayi badala kakhulu kunoPitso angalunga naye, but no coming to Pitso. No, I think on this one, as I said, Pitso, he believes in project since Ashovelian, and he cannot. I believe he cannot just go there without doing his research, because he has coached there. Surely he's got the information. He knows the team. He's got the information about the team and the players that are currently there, and those the players that are playing there. And also, if you look at the team, I didn't just get the chance to see and how the points are going, but I've seen number 17.
17. It's 17. So it's second last. 19 games, 4 wins, 2 draws, 13 losses, 14 points, minus 30 goal difference.
No, it's fine. You position Richard Bay like high.
Bottom 3 get relocated. Bottom 3.
No, you position Richard Bay. No, you position Richard Bay. No, I'm saying that team, you position Richard Bay like high. It can happen if I'm not mistaken. If he can win 3 games there, surely there's something like that. But here, if Richard Bay I win 4 games, he could top 8. I don't know what they understand. So that's why I don't think he can throw himself good risk in the Cape Town space. He cannot. He come from there. He knows the team. He knows the players that are there. Sure, and also the environment now we are as He will succeed. I believe in him. He's a winner in himself when he coach and even when he speaks. So I don't see him failing. That's why I need that team. If it wins 3 matches, surely it will be somewhere. And knowing Upito, he can do it. He can do it. I don't even doubt him. Ukuthi angaziqaphela emlonyeni wengwenya angeke. He has done his research and he's well prepared with his team. We know Musi team yake, those 5 guys, everyone is there. They support everything. If everything goes according to plan, the environment is there, okay, support that. I see him surviving and hopefully maybe they'll stick to their ways again. Mawa survive, bamnike contract yake aqale kahle kabusha on a preseason and just help that team. Yeah. So yeah, I think it'll be fine.
Okay, no. I hear you. Belile. Thank you so much, Mtakababa. Let me ask Dwayne. Dwayne, can you close it off for me with your closing statement?
Okay, that's fine. See, man, I really think that they're actually using Pitso, honestly speaking, because judging from what happened with that Saudi team, he actually managed to I would say couple into the pro league. Then after that they dished him. So I think it has to do with abantu bamtholela umsebenzi. It has effects because if, like, for example, Benny McCarthy, that guy only coached in the PSL, but look, now he's overseas. I'm not saying I'm comparing the two, but I'm just saying it could be in management that they don't have connections, and I feel like if he's here in the PSL, he could get the same type of attention and everything. He'd also be closer to his family, and also close to academy that he's already building, which is a good thing. At the same time, you'll be competing with Sundowns, because if you're competing with Sundowns, obviously it's gonna bring attention into our local football. At the same time, he's gonna be out there, you understand, in terms of how competitive the league would be and building on top of what he left off. Because at some point, some people believe that whatever Pitso did at Sundowns whatsoever, he can never redo it, you understand? Which I believe it's false. He can build on whatever he has done. He can do it again against Roland. So I think Chiefs should just behlise ukuyiphakamisa and they should sign Pitso. I know it's going to be hard because when it comes with his management and everything, in terms of if you're recruiting him, you have to hire the whole team. It's going to be much of a stretch, but at the same time, it's going to be a benefit for the league because you can't be watching the same team dominating. So just like Benny McCarthy did, I believe Pitso can still go because he targets I've done my research. Even in my interviews I can normally watch, he normally says that he wishes to coach English Premier. So that is his actual goal. And I believe it's possible. If Benny could do it, Pitso can also do it, you understand? So yeah, I'm a Chiefs fan, obviously. But it doesn't really matter which team he goes to, even if he goes to Pirates or whatever. But as long as he's here in the SA League, because I believe we're getting enough attention. And if he goes to, he's going to do the same thing that he did. He's going to promote the team. And then if the team is not invested in terms of them putting him in that chair, they can still remove him. You see, because they only sign him, if I'm saying now on the Saudi League, they only sign him for 1 year. So it's like, it's like developing the team, getting them where they have to be, and then it's like you being used, you understand? So it is what it is, man. That's all I could say, and thanks a lot for giving me the opportunity and the chance to elaborate.
No, man, you must come on board, Dwayne. You must come on board. Thank you for joining me. You guys, let's sit in the comments, man. Come on, let's talk, man. Thank you, my brother. Yeah, guys, so for me to close off, look, man, am I disappointed by the move? I am. I'm not going to lie to you. I would love to see Coach Pitso somewhere else, whether it be the truth of the matter or maybe it's because I am biased as a fan of his work. But I am a little bit disappointed. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt to say that maybe he's going to get there, something, build the team up. give himself a little bit more exposure up there, Nabo Ronaldo, and then maybe that gets his dream move wherever he wants to go. Who knows, right? But I want the last point I make tonight to be that, guys, not only do we need to start believing in ourselves as Africans, we also need to start supporting each other. And support isn't necessarily always financial, but sometimes support is if a European person or whatever is asking you something, you go, no, Pitso's one of the best. This one is one of the best. No, Temba's one, he can stand up to whoever in the world or whatever. Because even if they don't, that's what Europe does to us. We need to have a bit of pride in ourselves and with our people. Yes, there's a time for honesty, but sometimes just lie, man. Just lie. He's the best coach we've ever seen in the world. Maramotunale assistant coach has never coached once in the world. That's what they do to us all the time. And especially for the coaches and the players and the people in the game that have the attributes. He's got the licenses, he's had the success, he's got the experience, right? How can we then sit back and go, "I guys, no, Uzbanbani, who's coaching Cadiz, Kwako, Spain, is automatically better." So that's why I'm like, that's what I want us to have these conversations about. And also, we need to have true conversations about where we rank ourselves versus these European countries and teams and people. Because I feel like we severely underrate ourselves, where they severely overrate themselves, and we take it as the gospel. That Kibona, Yibo man, the top guys, the top dogs, the most quality, is everything we say about them here. Right? So that's what I want. And I'd love to see Coach Pitso somewhere. And I'm also going to trust myself with some of that duty. I said here that we don't know who the top coaches are in Africa because nobody's telling us. So even myself, people with platforms and things, we need to start opening up and making sure that, man, we know about each other. There's no way that we can know every single coach, EPL, every single game, UEFA, every single thing of everything else. But then on the continent, guys, I have the sneaky suspicion that I'm saying Pitso because I'm South African and I know Pitso and I watched him go PSL, and when he went over to Al Ali, I followed him a little bit. I also understand that there's a bias there, and maybe that's why. Maybe in other countries they don't know him like that. You know, they don't know him like that. So Nati, let's task ourselves with learning. Lynn will try and show as many games and as many things and bring up as many facts and stuff that we can learn from together, so that maybe that will help us get behind our people. Anyway, guys, let me read the last comments. Then we can go from there. Let's see. What if it gets used again? People know Pitso, how to start a project. Model C kids, our African teams are ran by their club legends. That's why we hardly know the coaches. We also need good promoters, says Dwayne. Tabeleng also says, look at our Gold Friends Chiefs. Legends matter more than coaches. The team is in position 10 of 22 points. If Pitso wins 4 matches, he's already there. Benny is a good coach, but Pitso is a coach. Why didn't they take him first as a what coach? Pitso is trying something, man. He was in the PSL for more than 8 years, says Untabeleng. Pitso will get a chance to sign players and he can win 4 matches, then he's out of relegation. Problem, the team doesn't have those big players, so I think that's the reason they're 17th, says Samuel. Sanele says, Pitso can coach Luton, Burnley, Sheffield, Fulham, Nottingham Forest. He needs to talk to Glenn, says Sanele. License plus results equals possibilities, says Super West Fuba. Abuti Kuto says, how many South Africans can say that they got 3 jobs outside the continent? Yeah, it's only Bo Roger Tisa, but that's probably part of the issue. Pitso knows how to start a project. Guys, Pitso has that clause. They just chose to compensate him rather than keep him. And yeah, Liman United, same story. Okay, guys, what if Pitso promoted the team, then doesn't promote the team? That'll affect his CV. Hey! Guys, there's a lot of permutations to this, but I'm looking at the time, and I think we are going to close it.
It's 10 o'clock. Let's go sleep.
It's 10 o'clock, guys. Let's go sleep. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you have not followed, please follow. The show is on every Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. And then on Fridays, we have a 12:30 show, which is my members, the guys who contribute to the show and who are part of the WhatsApp group as well. To contribute, just head on over to YouTube, click on subscribe. There's a button that will pop up there that says join. Click on the join button. For only 20 Rand a month, you help keep this up. Obviously, man, this is not Super Sport. This is not SABC. We can't afford all these different rights. We can't afford sometimes to keep some of the things running. It all hinges on you guys to contribute and help keep this all on. And thank you to those who do. It's their show tomorrow where they decide what the topic is. They talk more than I do, and it's an open forum for them to go ahead and do that. So guys, thank you so much for joining me. I will see you then tomorrow, 12:30. Bye guys.